So, if you're getting ready for your physiotherapy licensure in Canada, listen up, because your entire exam strategy is about to change. There's a brand new exam on the horizon, and in this explainer, we're going to crack the code and break down everything you need to know about the new Canadian Physiotherapy examination. Yep, it's official. A new exam is on its way, and it's set to replace the PCEs starting in 2026. So, the big question is pretty simple. Are you ready for what's coming? Don't worry, this whole explainer is designed to make sure the answer to that is a confident yes. So what is the CPTE? Well, it's the new national standard for both Canadian grads and internationally educated physiotherapists. And its purpose is really focused. It's all about assessing if a candidate has the essential skills for safe, effective, and independent practice. Basically, it's the new gateway to the profession. Okay, so to get you fully prepared, here's our game plan. We'll start with a quick look at the exam itself. Then we'll decode the all-important blueprint. After that, we're doing a deep dive into both the oral and written sections, and we'll wrap it all up with the key strategic takeaways you need to build your study plan. Ready? Let's jump in. All right, first things first. Let's get a really clear picture of what exam day is actually going to look and feel like. The CPTE is one single 5-hour exam, and you'll be taking it virtually. It's going to be remotely proctored. The day is split right down the middle into 2 sections, each lasting 2.5 hours. You've got the written section and the oral section. And yes, there is a scheduled break in between so you can catch your breath and reset. Now for what might just be the most important part of your preparation, decoding that exam blueprint. Seriously, if you want to succeed, you have to treat this document like your map. It tells you exactly where you need to focus your energy. Let's talk about weighting, because this is probably the single most important piece of information for your study plan. The oral section, it's worth a massive 60% of your total score. The written section makes up the other 40%. Now, your performance is combined for a final pass or fail, but that 60%, that tells you loud and clear where the priority lies. The blueprint also breaks down the specific domains of practice they're testing, and the weighting here is absolutely key. Just look at this. Assessment and diagnosis and care planning are the 2 heaviest hitters, each at a full 20%. Then you add in client safety at 15%, and right there, those 3 domains alone make up over half of the entire exam. And when it comes to clinical knowledge, wow, the distribution is even more telling. Musculoskeletal content makes up a full 50% of the exam. Half. Let that sink in for a second. Neurological follows at 20%, with cardio-resp and other systems each at 15%. Your study plan absolutely has to reflect this breakdown. All right, let's zoom in on the heavyweight champion of this exam, the oral section. Given that it's 60% of your grade, mastering this part, well, it's completely non-negotiable. So, what is it? This section is a 2.5-hour structured assessment where you're going to face 10 different clinical cases. For each one, you'll get some written information, and then you have to respond out loud, verbally. This isn't just a test of what you know, it's designed to see your applied critical reasoning skills in action, in real time. And you have to perform under some pretty serious pressure. For each and every clinical case, you get exactly 15 minutes. That's it. From the moment you start reading to the second you finish your final answer, that clock is ticking. There is just no room for error. So how does that 15 minutes break down? Well, the first 4 minutes are your designated reading time. This is your chance to absorb the client's profile, the scenario, and the questions. The remaining 11 minutes are assessment time. That's when you present your verbal responses. Now, you can take more than 4 minutes to read, but, and this is a big but, it will eat directly into your 11 minutes of response time. It is also so important to understand the examiner's role. They are not your guide. They are not your friend. Their role is limited, and it's highly standardized. They will tell you when to start reading, when to start responding, and when your time is up. The absolute most they will do is maybe redirect you to reread a question if you've missed its point. They will not be providing any hints or clarifying content for you. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about the other 40% of the exam, the written section. Even though it carries less weight, it still requires a very specific strategy. The written section has 100 multiple choice questions in total. But here's the key. The vast majority of them, we're talking 80 out of those 100, are what's called vignette-based. That means they're tied to a short clinical scenario. The other 20 are just straight-up standalone questions. So what's the actual difference? Well, vignette-based questions give you an evolving scenario, and you'll get about 4 questions for each little story. They're designed to test if you can integrate new information as a case develops. Standalone questions, on the other hand, are much more straightforward. They test a single specific concept without needing any broader context. And one more thing you need to be ready for: enhanced multiple choice questions. What this means is that some questions won't just be text. They might actually include media, like images, videos, or even audio files to present clinical info. The idea is to make it more realistic and give you better context. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. Now it's time to pull all of this together and turn this information into a clear, actionable plan for your studies. Let's boil this all down to your final checklist. Number 1, focus on the oral section. It's 60% of your score. Number 2, master that musculoskeletal content. It's a full 50% of the exam. 3, practice that strict 15-minute case timing until it is second nature. 4, for the written part, get really comfortable with those evolving vignettes. And finally, number 5, always remember the examiner is a proctor, not a partner. At the end of the day, the exam blueprint gives you everything you need to prepare effectively. It lays out the structure, the content, and exactly where the weight is. So the only question left is this one. You have the blueprint. How are you going to build your success?